This recorded presentation will review changes to Minnesota's meal and rest break laws that go into effect January 1, 2026. During the presentation, we will review rest break requirements, meal break requirements, additional break considerations, and follow-up resources. First, we'll begin with coverage. What types of employees must be provided rest and meal breaks under the Minnesota Fair Labor Standards Act? The Minnesota Fair Labor Standards Act requires that certain employees be paid at least minimum wage and overtime when applicable. These employees are considered non-exempt and must also be allowed both rest and meal breaks. Exempt employees are not required to be paid overtime and are not required to be provided meal and rest breaks, but their employer may choose to provide them. The most common types of exempt employees are those employed in a bona fide executive, administrative, or professional capacity, whose duties and salary structure meet certain designated minimum requirements under state and federal law. To learn more about the types of employees who can be designated as exempt, visit dli.mn.gov/worker-exemptions. Effective January 1, 2026, covered employees must be allowed a rest break of at least 15 minutes or enough time to utilize the nearest convenient restroom, whichever is longer, within each 4 consecutive hours of work. Employees covered by a collective bargaining agreement, often referred to as a union contract, may have different rest break practices established under that agreement. Let's review an example of how the rest break requirements would apply in a Minnesota workplace. Sarah works a 9-hour shift from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. with a lunch break from noon to 12:30 p.m. Question: how many rest breaks must the employer allow Sarah to take? Answer: Sarah must be allowed to take 2 rest breaks. Question: how much time must Sarah be allowed for rest breaks? Answer: Sarah must be allowed 15 minutes for each rest break. Effective January 1, 2026, covered employees must be allowed at least 30 minutes for a meal break if they are working for 6 or more consecutive hours. Workers covered by a collective bargaining agreement, often referred to as a union contract, may have different meal break practices established under that agreement. Let's review an example of how the meal break requirements would apply in a Minnesota workplace. Adam works a 12-hour shift from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Question: how many meal breaks must the employer allow Adam to take? Answer: Adam must be allowed at least 1 meal break. Question: how long must the meal break be? Answer: the meal break must be at least 30 minutes. Employers must allow their employees to take rest and meal breaks. However, employers can create a system for employees to choose to not take these breaks as well. Some indicators of whether an employee is allowed to take meal and rest breaks may be: does the employer have a breaks-related policy? Has the policy been communicated to employees? Do the work circumstances make it possible for employees to take breaks? We will now review additional considerations about Minnesota break laws. When must break time be paid or compensable, and when can it be unpaid? If a break is less than 20 minutes, it must be paid time for the employee. When completely relieved from work duties, longer break periods taken by employees may be unpaid and are not considered as hours worked. Can an employer require an employee to stay at their workplace during their rest and meal breaks? Yes. employers can require that employees stay on the premises during their breaks. To learn more about Minnesota rest and meal break laws and review frequently asked questions, visit dli.mn.gov/breaks. Thank you.